What if I told you that beneath the golden domes of the Vatican, hidden beyond locked doors guarded by centuries of secrecy, lies one of the most forbidden collections of human history? 85 kilometers of shelves holding documents the public may never read. Letters between kings and popes, trial records of heretics, evidence of dark rituals, and perhaps even truths the Church swore to bury forever. Welcome to the Vatican Secret Archives, a place where history itself has been chained. The Vatican Secret Archives, officially known in Latin as Archivum Secretum Vaticanum, is not just a library. It is a labyrinth of stone walls, dim corridors, and iron vaults. Few men and women alive today have set foot beyond its doors. Even fewer have seen the darkest pages it hides to outsiders. Secret has always carried a sinister tone, but in Latin, secretum means private. Yet this translation hardly explains why 85 kilometers of shelves are locked away from the world. What secrets could possibly be so dangerous that they must be hidden for centuries? The archives stretch beneath the Apostolic Palace, constructed like an underground fortress. Imagine towering shelves lined with manuscripts, scrolls, and letters, some dating back over 1,000 years. From medieval papal bulls sealed with wax to leather-bound tomes filled with heresy trials. Every page whispers of power, corruption, betrayal, and fear. The archives are so massive that if you walk their length, it would take you days just to pass by the shelves. Yet, the public sees only the surface. Most of what lies inside has never been revealed. Among the most infamous documents is the trial record of the Knights Templar. In 1307, the Templars were accused of heresy, blasphemy, and devil worship for centuries. Historians believe the Vatican destroyed these records to erase the order's true fate. But hidden in the archives, the Chinon parchment was discovered, a document showing that Pope Clement V had secretly absolved the Templars of heresy. The Church let them burn anyway. If such a record could be hidden for centuries, what else is buried in those shelves? Then there are the letters of kings and emperors. One such letter comes from Henry VIII of England, begging Pope Clement VII to annul his marriage so he could wed in Boleyn. The Pope refused. That refusal split Christendom in two and gave birth to the Church of England. To hold such a letter in your hand would be to feel the very moment Europe changed forever. Yet these documents remain sealed, glimpsed only by the chosen few. But darker whispers haunt the corridors of the archives. Some claim it holds records of witch trials so gruesome they could shatter the Church's image forever. Others believe hidden manuscripts detail forbidden rituals, apocryphal gospels, or even grimoires, books of magic and curses locked away so no human eye could risk the corruption of their words. And then there are the mysteries of modern times. Many have speculated about what the Vatican knew during World War II. Rumors suggest there are sealed letters between the Vatican and Nazi officials, documents revealing what the Church truly knew about the Holocaust. Did they stay silent? Were there pacts, confessions, or knowledge they dared not reveal? The answers may lie only meters beneath Rome, in the dust of those shelves. What makes this vault even more sinister is how tightly controlled it is. Not just anyone can walk in. To enter, one must apply for permission, and only credentialed scholars with specific research purposes are allowed. Even then, access is severely restricted. Researchers cannot simply browse. They must request particular documents, and only certain materials are available. The rest remains locked, untouched, as if history itself has been sealed inside a coffin. Imagine what it means. Somewhere down those dark corridors might be answers to questions humanity has asked for centuries. Where is the truth of lost gospels? Did Christ's teachings differ from what we know today? What did the Church do to suppress rival faiths, silence scientists, and bury those who opposed its power? Each page could rewrite history. Each sealed box could reveal a scandal buried under centuries of silence. The archives even hold one of the most chilling and debated files in Vatican history. The testimony regarding the third secret of Fatima. In 1917, 3 shepherd children in Portugal claimed the Virgin Mary had given them 3 secrets, visions of hell, predictions of World War II, and finally, a secret so terrifying the Vatican locked it away. Decades later, the Church revealed what it claimed was the third secret, a vision of a bishop in white being killed But many believe the true secret remains hidden in the archives, perhaps predicting the end of the world or the fall of the Church itself. And this is only a fraction of what lies within. Imagine shelves stacked with exorcism records, sealed reports of miracles, papal correspondence with scientists like Galileo, or files on condemned books and censored knowledge. The Vatican has been a gatekeeper of faith for centuries, but in guarding these secrets, it may also have locked away the darkest truths of humanity. For now, the doors remain closed. Tourists may gaze at the splendor of St. Peter's Basilica above, but few realize that below, locked in silence, is an empire of paper and ink more powerful than gold. 85 kilometers of shadows, 85 kilometers of secrets. But this is only the beginning, because the real question is not what the Vatican lets us see, but what it refuses to show. What if the archives contain not just history, but evidence that could change everything we know about faith, power, and the human soul? Are these documents locked away for protection, or too hide truths to dangers to ever be revealed? Follow, because next time, we descend deeper into the forbidden corridors of the Vatican, where the line between faith and fear begins to blur. In the heart of Rome, behind walls taller than a man's reach and gates that only a chosen few may open, lies a vault of whispers. They call it the Vatican Secret Archives. But secret is too soft a word. What waits here is forbidden, a history written in chains, sealed in wax, and guarded not just by locks, but by centuries of silence. Imagine 85 kilometers of shelving, stretching through time like an endless tunnel of shadows, scrolls older than kingdoms, manuscripts that could topple empires, letters stained with fear, ink confessions from kings and popes, treaties signed in candle-lit rooms, curses muttered against God and man alike. Few have walked these corridors. Fewer still have survived their secrets unchanged. Somewhere within this labyrinth, it is said, rests the letter of Henry VIII's plea for annulment, the spark that lit the fuse of England's split from Rome. Next to it, perhaps, the chilling testimony of Galileo, forced to deny the truth of the stars under threat of torture. And deeper still, whispers say the files on the Inquisition wait descriptions of screams and dungeons, of confessions wrung from flesh with iron, all tucked neatly into folders stamped with papal seals. But the shelves hold more than politics. They are said to contain the devil's correspondence itself, a letter dictated by Lucifer, written by the possessed nun of Loudun, preserved as proof that hell once spoke directly to earth. Scholars who have tried to trace it come back pale, shaken, unwilling to speak of what they saw. Others swear of darker relics, the trial records of the Knights Templar, their tortured cries echoing across parchment, their confessions forced with fire and blade. These documents reveal a church trembling at shadows, destroying what it could not control, rewriting the order of the world with pen and pyre. And what of the letters locked away that speak of exorcisms, of demons writhing inside bodies, of priests fighting forces unseen, buried among the shelves, hidden in Latin script? Are case files of rituals the Vatican refuses to admit even today, stories of girls who levitated, men who vomited nails, voices that hissed in languages long dead. These files are not for the public. They are for the chosen, and perhaps not even they are safe from what the words contain. Why so secret? Why guard paper with such ferocity? Because history is power. Control the past, and you bind the present. The archives are not a museum. They are a fortress of memory. Within its walls, popes have the luxury of erasing mistakes, hiding scandals, rewriting sins into silence. But walls cannot keep whispers from escaping. Documents have leaked in 2010. Fragments of letters surface proof that Pius XII may have known more of the Holocaust than he admitted. Other leaks speak of cover-ups of corruption, of priests protected by secrecy while crimes spread. Like rot, the deeper you dig, the louder the silence becomes. Some claim the archives hold even darker mysteries. Proof of Christ's bloodline, the true fate of lost gospels, maps to treasures stolen during the Crusades. Even the bones of giants, hidden evidence of a pre-human race erased from the Bible. Fantastical, perhaps, but the Church does not deny what it hides. It simply bars the doors. So imagine standing there, at the edge of those endless corridors. A hush presses in. Dust floats like ghosts. The shelves stretch beyond sight. You are told you may look at only one document, and as you touch it, a guard watches not to protect the paper from you, but to protect you from what you are about to learn. This is not history. This is forbidden truth. And once it is seen, it cannot be unseen. So the question remains, what is the Vatican so desperate to keep locked away? Is it faith they guard or fear? They say history never dies. But in the Vatican's secret archives, it doesn't just live, it festers, bound in silence and waiting to be unleashed. The third act of this labyrinth is not about what was, but about what is still hidden, because the question remains, why does the Vatican guard these shelves like a dragon guards its hoard? Why, in an age of transparency, is truth still shackled behind those doors? Inside the archives lie papal bulls that shaped empires, yet also treaties soaked in betrayal, records of witch trials, where women burned alive are reduced to names in ink, instructions to missionaries that brought conquest as much as conversion, their letters describing whole cultures destroyed under the sign of the cross, and darker still the secret dossiers on priests accused of unspeakable crimes locked away, protected by confidentiality that shields predators instead of victims, each folder a life ruined, each seal a silent pact. The walls of the archives do not just preserve history, they suffocate justice. But it is the forbidden texts that draw the deepest shadows. Whispers tell of apocryphal gospels suppressed because they spoke of a Christ to human, or to divine, rumors of prophecies predicting the fall of Rome itself, of letters between popes and alchemists, seeking immortality in the language of demons, whether these exist or not. The Vatican's refusal to open its vault only fuels the fire. And then comes the prophecy of Fatima, 3 secrets, revealed by the Virgin Mary to shepherd children in 1917. 2 were published. The third, the most terrifying, was locked away for decades, kept within the archives. When it was finally released in 2000, many claimed it was incomplete, that the true text, predicting catastrophe within the very church itself, remains sealed. So we ask, is the archive a sanctuary of faith or a tomb of corruption? Does it protect believers from truths too heavy to bear? Or does it protect the church from truths too damning to reveal? Step back for a moment and imagine 85 kilometers of forbidden history, stretching like veins beneath the Vatican. If laid out, it would span across cities, across generations, across the very fabric of faith itself. And yet, you and I will never see it. Only fragments leak, enough to haunt us, never enough to satisfy. But perhaps that is the greatest trick of all. The archive does not need to reveal its secrets. Its power lies in withholding them, leaving us to wonder, to fear, to doubt. Every locked door, every sealed box becomes a ghost story, and every rumor grows darker in the silence. So, what do you believe lies behind those forbidden shelves, lost gospels? Proof of conspiracy, or nothing but dust and paranoia? One truth remains: the archives are not just a place. They are a shadow cast over history. A reminder that knowledge itself can be dangerous and that sometimes the most terrifying thing is not what we know, but what we never will. And now I ask you, if the doors were open tomorrow, what secret do you fear most would crawl into the light? Follow for more forbidden history, because the shadows are far from over.